Windhand, and we're going to answer some fan questions today.
This one's from Bijou Clark. What was the biggest difference for you guys about the writing/recording process of Grief's Infernal Flower versus Soma? What difference are you most pleased with?
Because we wrote the record to record it. We weren't playing the songs for 2 years before we recorded them this time.
Yeah, everything up until this point, everything has been self-produced. So that was probably the biggest difference, was working with an outside engineer/producer.
Jack and Dino.
Yes. Having like a fresh set of ears on everything we were doing was kind of important.
Not literally having to run over and hit the stop button on the tape machine while recording the album.
Amanda Gemmill. What do you find to be the biggest challenges and benefits of extensive touring in the creative process of writing new songs and putting together new albums?
Extensive
I feel like
touring.
we didn't really write a lot of these new songs on the road.
Yeah,
Not
in
really.
previous records, we've written stuff before we've left to go on tour, and it was
We still haven't even played some of these songs live
Yeah.
at all.
yeah.
Other stuff I know personally, after playing the songs like on tour, completely coming up with different parts and using that instead of like what we threw together immediately to record with. So
I mean, the touring helps collect ideas, because you're coming up with ideas on tour, and then you can just record them, and then you have a bunch of riffs when you get home, so you can put songs together.
also too, like some people don't know your songs, so it's like I could do this tonight and no one will really know. Like
Right.
there was a moment where you're playing at Info Shop in Gainesville, Florida to like 8 people. You can do what you wanted and get away.
Freestyle.
Yeah, you can get away with it. Like, so what? Like bank it for creativity's sake later.
Russell Mullen asks, explain the musings behind the new album title.
Great question. I'm so glad you asked that, Steele. Dorothea?
It's just a lyric from Hesperus, but we don't really like to talk about the meanings behind, our personal meanings behind the songs anyway. I like to leave that open to interpretation.
Dominic A. What would you say is the weirdest/strangest tour experience you've had so far?
It's gotta be.
Florida?
You
It's gotta
told the poo story.
It's gotta be
Yeah.
Florida though. But that's it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Or the weed cookies in Minneapolis.
who can remember that though?
Yeah, like how accurate is the story at this point?
Yeah. It's morphed at this point.
Yeah, that's probably the newest one though.
Yeah.
What about the Trippers in Missoula? That was pretty
Oh
bad.
yeah, that was a pretty bad one.
I wasn't there.
remember that.
was bad.
No, you remember that.
So the dude,
remember
like,
the guy
jumped
climbed
into
into
the
the
window.
window.
Someone
Yeah.
gotta tell it then, because I don't
Yeah,
remember.
someone.
I wasn't there. We were sleeping in the van that night, remember?
You guys were wise.
We had to go get the
Oh,
van.
yeah. Okay, that's
This is-
that's why I don't remember it.
It was.
That's not.
It
I
was,
don't know. That's.
Yeah.
It's like a
we-
It
serious
seems
story.
kind of like a yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
never
it's
mind.
more
Scrap
of a
that.
dangerous
Let's
Yeah,
talk
the
about
poo
that.
story.
Maybe we should just tell the poo story.
Yeah,
That's
tell the
probably
poo
the poo
story.
I wasn't there.
Okay, so we played in was it Game? No, it was
Tallahassee.
It was Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And we
Oh wait, the Hemlock.
well, there's
That dude getting knocked out.
there's some well, that's true.
Poo story.
Yeah, poo story. So we played in Tallahassee, and
With
this
the guy
guy.
with the cleaver too. We were just talking about that.
So we played Tallahassee, and as we went back to this guy's house, he was like, I'm going to make you food. It's no big deal. You can stay at my house. I'm making this short, but as we walked into his house, a faint odor of just foul dog shit and just piss came out. And as you walked into the house, there was 2 huge crates, a bunch of dogs running around like crazy, 2 couches destroyed, and the floor covered in shit. One night, like a plop of shit. I mean, there was like probably 100 piles of shit, white, fresh, old, runny. It was
Spectrum.
disgusting, and we could barely get in the door before I turned around and was like, fuck no, and we went out. We ran back. We got into the van, and the dude came out and was wondering why we wouldn't want to stay with him. And he was like, but I'm going to cook you dinner.
This also answers that Florida question. I saw somebody ask
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah. And
Why
whoever
does it
asked
seem
about
like-
why we don't go to Florida, I don't know. That's a bonus.
Floridians are a proud people. And we'll make it down there eventually, maybe.
Jake Norman wants to know, what kind of food do you all like on the road?
Taco Bell.
I think we do a lot of Asian.
We try to hit up a lot of supermarkets too,
Mhm.
just because there's more variety.
Pizza and chips. Let's just
Yeah.
let's cut the
I
bullshit.
like-
Pizza and chips. God damn.
Grocery
Fan
stores
base.
a
We
lot.
do.
We
We
do.
do go to grocery stores. But
We
I
go to
Okay.
like
grocery stores a lot.
Taco
Okay,
Bell
we-
we go to because it's
We
just
carb. We
easy to-
carb over here. This man likes his fruit.
You are the healthiest.
Yeah, you are.
He ate a bag of chips last night.
Shh.
Banana chips.
Potato.
Andy Walco, what was your favorite album when you were 13?
13.
I mean, 13 would have been Nirvana for me.
Oh, man.
For me, it was Sex Pistols. Never
Nine
mind the
Trails.
Bullocks.
What grade were you in
Spiral?
13?
Yeah, what
grade?
graders?
That's
7th
like,
grade.
is that 8th?
Basically,
Seventh?
you could have been
eighth
7th or
Grade,
8th.
grade.
7th grade? I went and saw the Grateful Dead in 7th grade, so. I guess it's not an album. So
Yeah.
no. Okay. Tears for Fears, probably. Because my mom wouldn't buy me the Van Halen CD. She told me we had to get the Tears for Fears CD instead.
Amy Teague, what do you do to keep your creative juice flowing?
Alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We practice pretty consistently. I guess, sometimes we'll throw in some different things we're working on. We just don't stop, really.
Yeah,
So
I
you
guess
guys
it kind of
can-
depends. Especially when we get frustrated with a part, we kind of blow it up, blow songs up, and tend to just take a part and jam it for an hour, and then kind of think about what we want to do with it. I feel like that kind of happened, especially with the new album. There's a couple parts that I think had intentions of being one way, and we completely went with it forever and ever. And then, like about a week before the album, to go record the album, we kind of redirected some stuff and made a lot of things more mellow, and kind of put it together through jamming, honestly.
Jordan Shoelace Para, what inspires the lyrics to some of your songs, and where did the visuals come from, like the stuff on your shirts and album covers?
The imagery is pretty easy. It's all horror imagery. Right?
Right?
That's Kyle.
Right?
You zoned out. I lost you, man.
What was the other question?
Uh,
Lyrics.
The visual?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
lyrics and
visual
visuals,
lyrics.
where they came from.
I don't know. Like, a lot of times, the only thing I'll really divulge about it is just, like, a lot of times the titles are more, like, Dorothy had mentioned this the other day. It's just a way of, sort of cataloging what you're doing. So when you're writing, like, you have, like, literally, I have hundreds of riffs on my phone, so I'll name stuff so I don't forget it. But a lot of times those are just metaphors for other things, and it doesn't directly relate to the lyrics most of the time. So
Wellington R. Sokoman, what motivates each of you individually to make music?
I don't know. It's just
Kind of just like what you do at this point, right?
yeah, no. That's what I was saying. Like people
Counting
want to
for-
write, I guess, and they write. I don't know. Like I feel like I've kind of crossed that barrier. That
We're compelled to do it.
Yeah.
it is
I
really
don't
a
have any other
compulsion.
choice. Yeah.
It's like It's like if you're at home and you have lots of downtime, it's really don't know what to do with yourself at this point.
I have a guitar in my hand almost all the time, even though I don't even realize it most of the time. It's just there. It's in my lap.
Yeah, I keep an amp beside my couch at home, and there's guitars on the other side of it. So it's like anytime I have the urge to play, it's there. So
I think I hit an age where sports started to get dangerous.
Oh, it's just
It changed my
too
mind.
fat. It's
Yeah.
like, you can't move like you could. It's funner to watch men get sweaty than actually get sweaty, you know?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm talking about sports.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather watch football than play football.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
David O. Bersheen is what's your favorite Black Sabbath song?
I don't know song titles.
I'm
I
wheels of
can't nail one
Yeah,
down.
wheels of
Yeah.
confusion right off the top of my head. Just
Yeah. I
Like-
can't nail one down, possibly.
NIV or Megalomania.
yeah.
I know it's
Iron Man was
on
the first
Master
one
of
I ever
Reality,
heard.
but I don't know the name of the song.
And it's your favorite?
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I don't know song titles, dude. I know my band song titles, but other than that, I don't know song titles.